Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined now by Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, Maine's top election official. Thank you so much for joining us, Secretary Bellows.
My pleasure.
And it's a great day to have you here. It's Maine's state primary day. So tell me a little bit about your day. I'm sure you've been very busy. Where have you been today?
We started the morning in Biddeford. We went to Gorham, Portland, Topsom, Brunswick. Wow. Stopped in Augusta midday to see how folks were doing in my election offices, and then on to Fairfield, Newport, Bangor, and now we're here.
So a very busy day. You've been to polling locations, like you said, across the state. So what are you seeing? We just heard from our Corey Bouchard in Augusta. From the sounds of it, voter turnout is low there. Is that what you're seeing across the state?
We're seeing low turnout all across the state, and we want to remind voters it's not too late. A lot of folks forget that we have a statewide primary in June, and who wins today will determine who's on the ballot in November.
Right, so important for people to get out there and make their voices heard. But there's also other races going on. Tell us about the importance of voting for your local municipal races as well.
So there are a lot of local municipal races on my own ballot, my hometown of Manchester. There's a competitive race for school board, a competitive race for select board. And we see that in a lot of towns across the state, as well as school budget questions. So when voters show up to vote today before 8 o'clock, they may see other races besides the statewide ballot. And, I had a voter ask me, well, I don't know these folks. And I said, voting is not a test, or if it is, it's open book. You can be in that polling booth, pull out your phone very quietly, no video, but you can look up a candidate and see who they are, who you support, and then fill out that ballot.
So it's not too late to maybe do a little bit of research and make that decision.
That's right. There are sample ballots when you walk into every polling place. There are sample ballots online. If you don't know where your polling place is, we have it on the Secretary of State website. There's a voter lookup function. And so we really try to make it as accessible and convenient as possible. Polls close everywhere in the state at 8 o'clock tonight.
All right, that's good to know. So if you are still thinking about it, you can still get out there and cast your vote. And there's something new, though, this year. It's the first time that unenrolled voters can cast a vote in the state primary election. Can you tell us about that change?
That's right. So it's called a semi-open primary. Unenrolled voters or self-identified independents who are not in any party at all can, in fact, show up and request whichever ballot they prefer. Now, you do have to speak that choice.
Right, and so something important to note, the biggest race on everyone's mind tonight is the 2nd Congressional District race. You have 2 Republican candidates vying for that nomination. So if people are unenrolled and they want to cast a vote for that race, they're going to need to select the Republican ballot, correct?
That's right, and it's important to know that's a competitive race. It's the only competitive race in CD2, but it doesn't commit you in the future.
Right.
So if you turn around and next year want to vote in the Democratic primary, that's the beauty of the semi-open primary and the ability of the unenrolled voter to go back and forth.
All right, all great things to keep in mind. Secretary Bellows, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right, and we'll hear more from Secretary Bellows in our next show, Fox 22 News Tonight, but in the meantime, stay tuned, there's more to come.